Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special Titusville City Council meeting on September 13th, 2018 at 5:30 p.m. We have a quorum, so I will call this meeting to order. First order of business is the invocation. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to say an invocation? Not hearing any. Please join me in a moment of silence. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. The purpose of this meeting is as follows. Final public hearing on tentative millage rates, annual operating, enterprise, and capital budgets, and proposed solid waste utility enterprise charges for fiscal year 2019. Mr. City Manager?
Sir, you introduced the meeting just fine. So
Thanks.
with that, we'll have the City Attorney read the ordinances, and then we'll proceed with the presentation.
Ordinance number 40, 2018, an ordinance of the City of Titusville, Florida, providing for the millage for the operation of the City of Titusville and voted debt service levy for fiscal year 2019 and providing for an effective date. Ordinance number 41, 2018, an ordinance of the City of Titusville, Florida, adopting the general and related budgets of the City of Titusville for the fiscal year 2019 and providing for an effective date. Ordinance number 42, 2018, an ordinance of the City of Titusville, Florida, amending Section 16-116 of the Code of Ordinances by amending and establishing an increase in the residential monthly charge for solid waste and recycling fees, and by amending Section 16-117 of the Code of Ordinances by amending and establishing an increase to the commercial dumpster and commercial can monthly charges for solid waste and recycling fees, and increasing the commercial dumpster rental fees, and providing for an effective date. Ordinance number 43, 2018, an ordinance of the City of Titusville, Florida, adopting the Enterprise Fund and Capital Improvements Program budgets of the City of Titusville for the fiscal year 2019 and providing for an effective date.
And with that, sir, I'll begin my presentation with the next slide.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The budget process began in January of 2018 with the proposed budget millage rate adopted in on July 10, 2018 at 7.79 mils and the debt millage rate of 0.3642 mils. On July 24th, Council adopted a tentative millage rate of 8.0105, which gives you the flexibility of an additional $394,000. We conducted a budget workshop on the 15th of August. We had our first public hearing on the 4th of September, and here we are on the 13th of September with the final hearing. At both the first and final public hearing, Council must adopt its millage rate before it adopts its operating capital budgets. The public is asked to speak or ask questions to City Council before it adopts the proposed budget-related ordinances. This is your strategic priorities, which were established beginning in a workshop in January 2019. Next slide. The overall budget for FY19 is $121 million. This is up 2.85% from FY18, which is approximately $117,000, $117,740,000. This is the general fund, which is $44,697,000. This is up 2.54%, up from the FY18 budget of $43,589,000. And this is also how the general fund budget is spent, and you'll see 51% of the budget goes to public safety. The proposed millage rate is 7.790 mils, which is 6.97 above rollback and yields an additional $147 million in ad valorem revenues. The tentative millage rate of 8.0 0.0105 mils is 10% above the rollback and yields an additional $394,000 in ad valorem revenue when compared to the proposed, allowing for budgetary flexibility throughout the budget process for council. The FY19 budget is proposed at a millage rate of 6.97%, which again is $1.47 million above the additional revenues. This $1.47 million will be spent with 5.5 miles in general fund of road surfacing, which is approximately $700,000 of the 6.6 total miles of roads that we plan to do. And it addresses some of the retiree health care costs at $770,000. This budget also funds $1.7 million of the required $3.2 million of the annual required contribution to OPEB. As you see here on the general fund millage comparison, Titusville has the third highest millage rate in Brevard County. But if you compare it to the next slide, we have the third lowest per capita ad valorem taxes in the county. The next two slides are a proposed property of $136,000 that's homesteaded in Brevard County. The first slide shows you what the total tax bill for that property would be. It's approximately $1,968. And you can see the distribution between Brevard County, the Brevard School Board, and then the additional tax bills of the MSTU, St. John's, North Brevard Recreational District, and other taxes. This is at your tentative millage rate of 8.0105, and of course the debt service of 0.3642. This adds an additional $19 to the tax bill of $1,987.87. When we prepared the initial budget, we had to make some estimates from our state revenues. The state revenues actually came in at $140,000 less than what we projected, so here's how we made it up. At the last meeting, we talked about the total shortage of requirements that the city is facing. We have a $14.5 million short of requirements. So what the directors did is they went back and scrubbed that $14.5 million shortfall and said, what do we actually truly must have, which the next two slides will show you. It's approximately $2.9 million short of requirements. The red line equates to $347,739 of the $394,000 that's available to council should you choose to go above the proposed millage rate. Next slide. This is the continuation of the additional funding that staff feels is a must. Briefly going over the stormwater, utilities, and enterprise funds utilities rate changes. Stormwater increased 2.5%, which annually will impact the city the citizen by $2.20. Solid waste, 3% increase, which on an annual basis is $3.84. This is a comparison of stormwater to the other utilities in our area. We're right middle of the pack. This is solid waste comparison for a single family residential, still in the middle to upper pack. And commercial, you see we're lower pack. Next few slides are the water and sewer review. As you remember in the FY18 budget, you have already approved the 3% increase, but we want to go ahead and just review that with you. This slide here shows the residential monthly bill for a 3/4 inch meter for approximately 5,000 gallons, a monthly increase of $2.45. This is a master meter for a commercial property, a monthly increase of approximately $3.07. This is a commercial with a 1.5 meter at 42,000 gallon commercial, an increase of approximately $21.63. This is the rates comparison. The two charts that you see that are in yellow is the current City of Titusville 2018 rates, and the one to the right is the proposed 3% increase. And again, we are consistently in the middle of the pack for the rate comparisons. Next slide. Two additional increase proposed changes to the adopted budget are in water resources, which will be funded through working capital, a total amount of $257,500 for the two items you see listed. The following are the action items for council to consider this evening. The approved tentative millage rate generates $394,235. That's at a millage rate of 8.0105 mils. The things that you can consider is adjust the millage rate to fund council budget modifications, fund additional needs, or do a combination of both. At our last budget hearing, council chose these items to take a look at out of the general fund, continue to increase our COLA by 0.5, add 2.5 officers, that's 2 police officers for a full year and 1 at mid-year. Community relations, closed captioning video on the website, and you reduced special events funding, which gives you a net change of $289,046. The summary, but that yields a at $289,000. It puts you at 7.9517. That if you add that with the riverfront acquisition bonds, that puts you at a total of 8.3159. These were the items that at the last public hearing that you requested to be cut for the FY19 budget, leaving the Christmas parade, Martin Luther King parade, and the red, white, and boom. Just a note on the red, white, and boom, that $3,000 is only about 1/3 of the cost of putting on that event, and fundraising the last 3 years, Tom, have been really down. So we have been funding that out of contingency funds in the last 2 years. Council's action items this evening. We have read the budget ordinances. Mayor, you'll open the final public hearing on the items before you, and then you'll amend the tentative items, and Bridget's ready to adjust as you adjust to give you the final millage rate. And again, a review of your actions this evening. You cannot go above 8.0105, which is 10% above your rollback, and the vote or the debt service is already set at 0.3642. You can adjust that if necessary, but that's what the recommendation is for you. Second reading of these ordinances have been accomplished, and subject to council's questions, this completes our presentation.
Council, any questions? I don't see anything from council. Should we open the public hearing at this point?
Yes, sir, and I would advise the citizens that they're entitled to speak on each ordinance we will be adopting.
Okay.
So I would call cards as you handle each ordinance.
I'm sorry.
So certainly you can ask if there's cards as to each of the ordinances, and they're entitled to speak on each of them.
All right. Clerk, are there cards on the first ordinance?
No, sir.
First part? Second?
No, sir.
Third?
No, sir.
The fourth?
No, sir.
No public comment? Okay, we'll close the public comment. Council, what's your pleasure? Everybody. Member Diesel, sorry.
And this should have been the first time around when you talked to council, but City Manager, can you just simply state for the record First of all, public safety is 51% of the budget. Second is general government at 15. Third is non-departmental. Because those are 2 and 3, can you simply, for the record, state what those are? General government and non-departmental?
General government consists of the city manager's office, their budget, city council, and like mostly support services, the functions that are just required to perform the overall support functions within the city. And non-departmental, that is where we put all of the costs that are not associated with a department. It would be things that affect the whole city, like the debt costs, capital outlay costs, and retiree health care costs. We also, the other big number that sits in the non-departmental for general fund is the electricity to fund the Whiteway lights that go up and down US 1.
Okay, thank you. I just thought that was important to get out there for those that might not know. Thank you.
Member Nelson?
Bridget, so last time we talked that we wanted to do the additional 5% pay increase, and the 2 officers in October and 1 at mid-year, closed captioning for video on the website, because otherwise I think legally we're going to be in some problems. So if we did just that, what would our millage rate be?
You mean slide 28, but not adjust out for the funding for special events?
Oh, and the special events.
The millage rate would be 7.9517, which would be 9.19% over rollback.
Okay. And with the funds that we have, if we were to go up to 8.0105, that would be the additional funds.
That would use up a portion of those additional funds.
Okay.
So what you've got appropriated on slide 28, the 289,000, that's most of the millage, you know, for the 8.100105.
Yeah, that, you have another, if
105.
you go to the tentative,
Yeah,
the full
105.
tentative of 8.0105, that yields an additional $105,189 in addition to the $289,046 that you see on slide 28.
Okay. Okay. That answers that.
Anything else? Member Stokel?
Mine's not a question. It's just to, I guess, start discussion for us. I think looking back at our last meeting, what staff did for us was kind of propose the millage rate, I think, with what we're kind of going towards. So I just want to say I'm in favor of the 7.9517. I think it's important that we do the COLA, the law enforcement, as we already know we're still down law enforcement officers, closed captioning legally, and then again, slowly kind of chipping away at our special events. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards.
Okay. Anyone else want to speak again? Okay. I'd like to put it somewhat in perspective, too. You mentioned the police. We're actually 21 police officers short because of the budget we have is behind. Last year we were, because of some additional, not changes that were just left for things that may have been changed but weren't. That's one way to put it. We were 10.7 million short of our requirements. This year we're 14.5 short of requirements. We're going the wrong way. And although we are doing better as far as building and so forth, it's not making up for these issues. So those are something we as a council have to reassess. Just wanted to put that out there. And there's 3.2 million for the OPEB ARC, and we only funded 1.7 million this year. So again, that's another number, pretty big number. And if that's not enough, The issue that's on the vote this year of another homestead exemption will take another $500,000 out of our budget. So we're doing a bare bones budget. It may not sound like it, but it is, because we're falling further behind, and hopefully we'll be able to rectify that. But that's why some of the things have been cut out. We just don't have the, you know, when we're short so many police officers and service to the community is getting shorted, some of the things that we'd like to do, but just can't, at least in my opinion, do anything except go with a bare bones budget. So, yes, ma'am.
And I understand what you're saying, but I don't think this is the appropriate time to bring that up, because when we did that, we said, when we get some additional information, we may look at that again. We don't have the additional information. I'm assuming in February we will have it, and at that time, I think that's when you make that discussion. We have that discussion.
I feel it's worth explaining. There are people out there, this is my choice.
Yeah, I understand.
There are people out there who are saying, well, why are you cutting this out? Why are you cutting that out? And I would be remiss as mayor if I didn't give them some reasoning behind it. Now, what you're talking about is discussion we have to have.
Right.
That's
This
not what
is
I'm doing now. What I'm doing is explaining it to the public.
Okay.
Thank
I'm
you.
just saying, yeah.
Thank you. All right. Mr. City Manager, how do we proceed here?
Staff's available to answer any questions that you have, sir, and next thing you want to do is adopt your millage rate, announce that millage rate, and then we'll put that into the ordinance.
Council, you have to do that part.
I think the appropriate thing is move to adopt ordinance number 40-2018, providing for a millage rate of, I have to make sure I'm doing this right with Bridget, 7.9517.
Yes.
And then you want to do your debt service at .3642.
And the debt service at, okay, say that again, if you would.
Member Nelson, I would finish on adopt
Yep.
ordinance 40, 2018, and you were saying with the millage rate, I believe, of 7.9517 mils,
And the
which
voted,
is,
Which is
Nine-
9.19% above rollback.
correct.
rate of 7.2822.
Can I
And then
get
the
away, can I get away with just,
Now the voted debt service.
okay. And the voted debt service millage at
.3642.
.3642. There it is.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say yes. Oh, do we do a roll call? Yeah, roll call on this. It's an ordinance.
Member Diesel?
Yes.
Member Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Member Stokel?
Passes unanimously. Next item. Adopt ordinance number 412018.
No, yes, I can do it.
You can do it.
Move to approve ordinance number 41-2018, adopting the general related budgets of the city of Titusville for the fiscal year 2019.
And if you don't mind adding the proposed amendments that we presented on these slides, along
Yes.
with, just say, along with the proposed adjustments.
Along with proposed adjustments.
Yes. Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Nope. Roll call. Still roll call.
Member Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Member Stokel? Yes. Member Diesel?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Adopt ordinance number 42-2018.
Yeah. Move to adopt ordinance number 42-2018, amending section 16-1 116, and 16-117 of the Code of Ordinances by increasing the solid waste service charges and rates.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say yes. It's a force of habit thing. Roll call.
Mayor
please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Member Stokel,
Yes.
Member Diesel,
Yes.
Member Nelson.
Next, passes unanimously. Next item is option 43-2018.
Move to adopt ordinance number 43-2018, adopting the enterprise funds and capital improvement programs of the city of Titusville for the fiscal year 2019.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Member Stokel,
Yes.
Member Diesel,
Yes.
Member Nelson,
Yes.
Mayor Johnson.
Yes. Are there any other items that just come before the board this evening?
Just public comment, if there's any additional public comment.
Is there any additional public comment? I see none. With that, our mission is accomplished, so I will call this meeting over.